Welcome, wrestling fans. Welcome to Curtain Jerkin. As always, I'm your host, Jacob Grondy, reporting for the Main Event Marks YouTube channel. You can also check me out on Spotify. However you're listening to me, I appreciate it. Let's get down to business here. Today, we're going to talk about AEW. We're going to be talking about NXT. We're going to be talking about Noah. We're going to be talking about Ring of Honor. And we're also going to be talking about WWE free agents. Where they're going, where I think they should be going. Matt Riddle is the biggest name I would say on here as far as the last 5 years. And I see him doing celebrity boxing. I mean, he kind of got blackballed from UFC because him and Dana White kind of have beef. And he left unceremoniously from WWE. Of course, they're all locked under the TKO banner now. And because of some of those unceremonious things that happened to Matt Riddle, I don't really see him going to the overly filled AEW roster. I do see that he could make money in New Japan, but I don't really see him doing that. I think that he might be a little too big of a star in America to not try at least to kind of milk that for a little bit here. I know he's probably going to try to do a weed brand or several weed things. Gummies, brownies, general just flour, what have you. And I can see him writing a book, because he was in UFC, he was in WWE, he was on the wrong side of cancel culture for about a year or so. So I think all those things would intrigue people to read about how someone would go through some things like that. And he did it all while high as hell. So all those things lead me to think he's going to do something in the cannabis industry, as well as probably trying to get his hands on the celebrity boxing industry as well. I think he would be a good match for, Jake Paul, maybe slide into Dylan Danish realm, maybe slide into even more obscurity than that, but I can see him my prediction is before 2024 is over, Matt Riddle will be in some sort of celebrity boxing fight. Number 2, Dolph Ziggler. He's already making his way to AML, which is a indie promotion in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, but I can see him doing some stuff with his brother in AEW, having some fun mainly. Work on his comedy. I can see all kinds of things, doing the convention circuit. In fact, AML gets a lot of good talent because they are the promotion that puts together WrestleCade, one of the biggest wrestling conventions in America. So, I think pretty much that he's being featured in AML right off the bat tells me that he's going to be at WrestleCade as well. Mustafa Ali, I bet he signs with AEW. Even though they have way too many people, I can still see them signing him. Elias, I think that he would be good in Impact or TNA. If anywhere along those lines, I see Rick Boogs kind of maybe following in Elias' footsteps a little bit. I'm just kind of fantasy booking here, but Shelton Benjamin and Riddick Moss, I would love to see them as a tag team in Noah or even New Japan Pro Wrestling. That would be fucking cool. I can see them turning some heads there if they team up and go over there. But, that's more my heart, not my head. Top Dollar. He's already going to be in GCW, I think, in January when they go to Tampa. But I don't know. I can't really see him going to AEW. He talked too much shit to the Young Bucks when he was in WWE for that. Probably releasing a little bit more, rap videos and things like that. His content for his music on social media. Maximum Male Models. They're popping up in DPW, a promotion in Durham, North Carolina. So they're already hitting some indie dates. It's kind of cool. It's because with AEW, with WWE releasing talent, Impact is signing talent, and it's not the talent that got released from WWE. I mean, they signed Kushida, who, yes, got released from WWE years ago, and they signed Eddie Edwards, which in a month is going to be 10 years he's with that company. So they're re-signing guys that have already worked there. they're not signing these guys. They're not signing these guys as far as I know about from this podcast, on December 14th in the evening. So it's interesting to see where these guys have already ended up, with AML, DPW, GCW, and it's going to be interesting to see where these guys go. Let me know in the comments below on YouTube, or hit me up on Twitter at JG Pro Wrestling, and let me know where you think these free agents will go and who will have the best 2024. Moving on to WWE NXT. Some highlights here, a little show review. Cora Jade is back and already starting shit. Laya Valkyrie comes out and interrupts her, gets interrupted by Blair Davenport, who gets interrupted by another returning wrestler in NXT, Nikita Lyons. Then her along with Cora, her along with Laya Valkyrie push Cora Jade and Blair Davenport out the ring. Still getting the hand of these NXT ladies. I've just started watching. This sets up a match for later. Valkyrie and Lyons versus Jade and Davenport. Cora Jade gets the win for her team. Then a wrestler, Parley, I think I'm saying that right here, comes in, throws out Lyons, and is one-on-one with the champ, but doesn't want to attack her, kind of just rubs her face up against her, showing affection. I don't know. This is the first time I'm seeing something like this on NXT. Dragon Lee versus Tyler Bate, North American Championship. Tyler leaping over the top rope. Tyler Driver 97 countered by Dragon Lee 1-2. No, someone attacked, and I think Dragon Lee got the victory here. Someone attacked Carmelo Hayes. And this, pissed off Trick. But Hayes is medically cleared to be in the U.S. title tournament on SmackDown, so that's good. But then Trick comes out at ringside. He gives himself a good promo, calls himself Trick Curry, Tricky Brady. He's Trick James, bitch. And Dragunov comes out. Tension building between the number one contender and the world champion until Carmelo Hayes comes out, and he has kind of this conspiracy theory about who attacked him, and he thinks it's the champion, which, right then and there, if I'm just purely looking at this as a fan of this show, that Carmelo Hayes is tripping a little bit, because why would the champion attack someone who isn't the number one contender? If he's going to attack anybody, it's going to be Trick Williams. In my opinion, yes, of course, Trick Williams got attacked weeks ago, but that was before he was the Iron Survivor winner. So I don't think Carmelo Hayes is thinking right after this attack. Dragunov says he's wrong, but accuses Carmelo Hayes of being the one who attacked Trick Williams in the first place. Carmelo says he didn't, do that, of course, and says that he doesn't deserve the title, grabs the title, and in the fight over the title kind of gets jerked from Carmelo's hands, goes behind him and hits Trick Williams. Of course, Trick is pissed about this. He takes a fall. Things aren't looking good for Trick and Carmelo here. NXT Men's Breakout Tournament. Lexis King just takes out one of the breakout stars. Everyone in the tournament is pissed at him, and then he winds up in the tournament himself. This is not good for the guy he attacked. Unless they're doing something here where he screws over Lexis King in the tournament, I don't know. But this guy just got, just to stand out there with all the other guys after being attacked. This is not good for his future endeavors. Let me just say that. But we did get a few matches here. Obi Femi versus Miles Bourne, putting over Bourne here, saying that he was trained with Gulag, but Femi did win with a spine buster. And then we had Riley Eisborn versus Keanu Carver. Riley was kind of tied up in Chase U. There's I forget to it, but there's a girl in Chase U who's got her eyes on Riley, even though he lost to a Pounce. Keanu Carver gets the victory here. Metaphor versus these redneck group here with Josh Briggs from Tough Enough, like 2015. It's kind of crazy. He's still in NXT. Big man Josh Briggs hits Noam Dar with a huge lariat. 1, 2, 3. Dijak and Thorpe I was pretty interested in this match because these are two guys that I followed prior to them coming in to NXT. Different years, of course. Dijak was in Ring of Honor like 2017, 2018, and Thorpe was in the New Japan LA Dojo around like 2018 to I think 2022. Thorpe cost Dijak the Iron Survivor match, so that starts with them just attacking each other. Loose turnbuckle scenario. Ref calls it off. And after he called it off, Dijak did something that I think was uncalled for. Hitting Thorpe with the turnbuckle. He goes down. He's probably injured. Chase U. They're broke. They made $66 on a bake sale and then $200 doing something else. And they're getting pissed at Chase for gambling the money away. I don't really know what this has to do with NXT, what this has to do with wrestling. Thea Hale was the girl that I couldn't remember who has a thing for that Osborne guy. That's more interesting than this Chase U being broke thing, in my opinion. But I guess that's all in the same umbrella, kind of like a show within a show that is Chase U. I don't know, whatever. But I think NXT is pretty good. I'm definitely interested more so after the big show, after I saw Deadline, than I was, definitely a few months ago, and definitely I was before this weekend. So that's good things, for NXT. I enjoy the brand. AEW Dynamite, though, I definitely enjoy. Continental Classic, man. We're going into, Dynamite from yesterday, from December 13th. Andrade versus Brody King. Andrade bringing Brody to the mat. I love how they said it doesn't matter how big he is as if he's on the mat. Then going to the air for a moonsault. Nasty looking running crossbody into the guardrail from Brody to Andre. Running double knee from Andre. 1-2, no. Lariat from Brody. 1-2, no. Brody going for a superplex. Andrade turns it into a brainbuster, falling into the turnbuckle. This was nasty. 1-2-3. Andrade gets the victory. Very clever way for Andrade to get the win. Going on to another Continental Classic matchup, Roosh versus Jay Lethal. This match makes me miss the old ROH. I was talking to a buddy at work about it. Roosh counters the lethal injection with a rear naked choke, tapping out Jay Lethal, having Lethal look kind of like a bitch. I would have to say crowd was into both these guys, and this match proves that it doesn't need to be a long match to be a good match. Roosh with 6 points, but Lethal with 0 points. I think pretty much out of the tournament at this point. Speaking of out of the tournament, speaking of ROH legend, Mark Briscoe can play spoiler here to Jay White. Dim Boy's chance, hitting the elbow drop on the outside. Briscoe has him on the ropes. Froggy Bow in the ring. Jay gets his knees up. Blade Runner 1-2-3. Jay White scores another 3 points. And Mark Briscoe and Jay Lethal are winless in this tournament here. Moving on to the main event of the evening, Swerve versus Mox. Big fight feel here for the second week in a row for the main event of Dynamite. Action goes to the ring. Swerve gets in control, and they are back in the ring. Mox answers with a lariat. The crowd is chanting for Swerve. Whose house? Swerve's house. Texas knows. I think that says a lot, having this crowd behind Swerve and not Mox, a guy who's generally just cheered wherever he goes. The guy who got cheered in Chicago against CM Punk earlier this year is now getting out-cheered in Texas against Swerve, which is pretty interesting to me. It shows you how over Swerve is. And he was supposed to be a heel. Like, he was doing, I know I probably bring it up every podcast, but this man is a home invader, creepy ass dude sneaking into Hangman Page's house. People did not give a fuck. People wanted him to win that Texas death match, which is kind of wild. He's that cool. He comes across as serious, even with his Prince Nana guy doing the dance and everything. But back to the match here, back to what's going on. Cutter from Mox, 1-2. Swerve kicks out, house call, goes up top. Mox pushes him off. Mox gets him back in the ring, locks in an armbar. Swerve gets to the ropes. You can start to see the competitors have a little wear and tear, have a little frustration here as Mox gets a chair, but that gives Swerve enough time to dive over, lands a cross body, gets him back in the ring, Swerve stomp, but then out of nowhere, Mox rolls him up 1, 2, 3 and gets the victory, steals the victory on Swerve. Anticlimactic finish. I think it's cool that Mox won. I don't mind Mox winning. Mox is a former world champion. And if you ever watch the G1, there's all these surprises. Everything has to add up to exactly what you want it to add up to at the end to have the finals be who you want it to be. So, because I feel like the Continental Classic is pretty much the American G1 that we're watching, highly influenced by the G1. I don't think that's controversial to say that at all. There's all these upset victories, and these upsets, these spoilers, are made so that, someone gets second place, someone gets third place. It doesn't look like someone just ran through the whole division here. Someone kind of looks a little strong. It plays into the overall finish. So if you're a Swerve fan, I saw a lot of Swerve fans online today upset. Hang in there, buddies. Hang in there, guys. It's all going to make sense at the end, and I feel like Swerve is super over right now. They're doing something with him into 2024. You can totally tell. Other thoughts I had on AEW Dynamite beyond the Continental Classic, I like Joe coming out right off the top. He wants to get to the bottom of this shit. He accuses Hangman Page based on MJF being hit with a beer bottle last week. Hangman comes out, of course, and then Strong interrupts him, calls Hangman his young boy, hinting at an ROH faction from 2016 that no one really gave a shit about even at the time. But Roddy has his own theory. He says Max is the devil. Hangman punches Roddy. I'm not sure why. Later on the show, the devil people were attacking Hangman, and the devil himself shows up attacking Hangman, and then they choke slam Hangman Page on the car they showed up in, which I thought that was kind of dumb. I don't know if they had another car. They broke the windshield. How of their getaway vehicle? How and why and when are they going to get to where they're going after this attack? But, they didn't show that at the end. They didn't show them leaving. Questions were not answered. And that's just one of many I have with this devil angle. Who's under the mask? I was talking about with my buddy. I think it's going to be Adam Cole. He says Roderick Strong. I'm thinking maybe Samoa Joe has something to do with it. I would like for Wardlow to be tied into this because I feel like Wardlow is a great character, a great star that they were building for a while that they kind of let go. With this whole MJF thing, I think it would kind of make sense. The Von Erichs were there, interrupted by Cassidy, and they will be joining Cassidy on Rampage. That's just kind of what's going down there. I really want to see Iron Claw. This reminds me I want to see Iron Claw. Kenny Omega and Jericho come out. The Golden Jets, they call out the AEW champions, Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Omega shits on the firm angle. This is the first time I remember AEW shitting on AEW stuff. Says it wasn't firm, but it was soft. I like that. That was pretty good. And then they just proceed to kind of bury Ricky Starks. This is the second time that an AEW star has kind of buried Ricky Starks. You had Edge a few weeks ago, and now you have Kenny Omega and Jericho. Ricky Starks is very good on the mic. I feel like he makes people up their game, but maybe he's getting them to up their game a little too much. I'm not sure. I don't think he can really kind of hang with them the way that they're kind of just rolling over him. I'm not sure. I keep saying I'm not sure, but it just seems like they might have a little heat. He might have a little heat here. Going into the other matches, let's rank every single match from AEW Dynamite from worst to first. Number 5, Ruby Soho versus Rio with timeless Toni Storm at ringside. At times, outshining the ladies in the ring on commentary. First match back from Rio, I think. No Future by Ruby 1-2 no. Rio roll up 1-2-3. She gets the victory. Number 4 would be Rush and Lethal. Number 3 though would be Strong and Hangman. Strong wrestles so snug every time. 2 lariats at the same damn time. Both men down. Hangman takes out the Kingdom and then hits them both with a moonsault. Buckshot countered reverse from Hangman 1-2 no. Deadeye 1-2-3, which is Hangman's like B move. Usually it's the lariat that knocks him out, and then the Deadeye is kind of like, you know, a strong transition move, but it gets him the victory here. Number 2, the main event, Mox versus Swerve. And number 1, Andrade versus Brody King. I love that fucking match. Let's dive into some predictions. We're going to be predicting the final battle card for this weekend. All right, here we go. Do I watch Ring of Honor regularly? No. Will I predict these matches? Yes. I don't know why. I don't know how, but make your bets on what I'm about to say here, guys. Athena versus Billy Starks. I think Athena has been killing it for a long time in Ring of Honor, and it's time to give Toni Storm some credible opponents. Let Billy Starks win this title. Tony Khan signed Billy Starks for a reason. She's like 18 years old. Put that title on her. And then you got Keith Lee versus Shane Taylor. Battle of the big men. Big meat slapping meat. These guys used to be a tag team in Ring of Honor. Keith Lee went on to beat Randy Orton and wrestle Roman Reigns in like 2020. And that all came crashing down. He signed with the AEW. And it feels like he's kind of fallen into obscurity since then. Where Shane Taylor has kind of always been in obscurity, I think, ever since the original Ring of Honor went under. So this is going to be kind of an interesting match. These two guys both have reasons to show everyone that they can still go, and I think Keith Lee's getting the victory. Tony Nese versus Ethan Page. Wow. This one should be good. I didn't know this was on the card. I'm going to go with Ethan Page getting the victory for the sole reason that he's on AEW / Ring of Honor, where Tony Nese is just on Ring of Honor. If you know what I mean, the pecking order here. We also have Blackpool Combat Club versus Mark Briscoe and FTR. This is going to be a huge brawl. I feel like this is going to be like those Anarchy in the Arena matches. If it's not officially one, it's going to be one. They're going to be brawling everywhere. And I think Blackpool Combat Club got to win. You got to give it to Mox, Claudio, and Danielson. You also have El Hijo del Vikingo versus Black Taurus. I mean, Vikingo's going to win. The AAA title's on the line. He ain't losing that shit. Vikingo's winning. Wheeler Yuta versus Filthy Tom Lawler. This is pretty interesting. Filthy Tom Lawler coming over to Ring of Honor. But like I said, Wheeler Yuta's in AEW / Ring of Honor, so they're giving the victory to Yuta. And then we have the Survival of the Fittest. I don't know what this is. Let's see here. We have Dalton Castle. We have Lee Moriarty. We have Big Shotty Lee Johnson. Kyle Fletcher, Commander, and someone of Tony Khan's choosing, a mystery opponent. Who's it going to be? I don't know, but I'm going to say that mystery opponent is going to win. Whoever that mystery opponent is going to get the victory. But while we're at it, while we're predicting shows from companies that we don't watch too much, we're going to be jumping over to Noah, the New Year 2024. I'm super excited about this card because of a few people that are going to be on it. Takashi Shigura versus Elki Sasaki are two men that are going to be wrestling each other that I'm not excited about, but I'm going with Segura getting the victory here. Then you have Nagase and Great Suzuki and the Luminius. I'm going with them because they are an actual tag team. You have Dragon Bane and Alpha Wolf versus the good-looking guys, Yohei and Takasuki versus Ninja Mac and Algerio. I'm not sure. I've never seen that man wrestle. I love Ninja Mac. I love Alpha Wolf. But I'm going with the good-looking guys here. Why not? They're good-looking guys. They're going to get the victory. Zack Sabre Jr. popping up on the card, teaming with Agawe, a legend in the light heavyweight division in Noah, the junior division in Noah. I know that Zack Sabre Jr. looks at him as great influence, so that's kind of cool. Versus, Hiroshi Tanahashi and Hayata. Damn, this match is going to be cool. I don't think they're bringing in Tanahashi to lose, so I think Tanahashi is going to get the victory there. Daga versus Ida, two guys that I enjoy watching in Noah. Daga, I enjoy watching them anywhere. It's kind of cool that they're in this one. GHC Junior title on the line. Daga's the champion. Ida has been the champion before. I can see the title switching hands here because I know Daga wrestles in AAA. He does this thing in American Indies, so I don't see him sticking around Noah for too long. Then Keno versus Manube Soya. Keno is the brand new champion here. I can see him retaining. And you also have Marufuji versus Kota Ibushi. God damn, that match is going to be pretty good. And I think you're bringing in a lot of talent onto this card. You aren't using it to put your guys over. So I do think that's what they're going to do. I think Marufuji's going to win this match. I think Keno's going to win his match. And I think Ida is going to get his title back around his waist. And those three guys, the company guys, are going to get the victories on Noah's big show. I don't know if he's hurt, but what happened is, where's Kitamiya? He was the world champion not too long ago. Where's Jake Lee? He was the world champion not too long ago. They are kind of missing from this card so far. I also heard that Ishii was going to be on this card. So only 7 matches for one of their biggest cards of the year. Look for some big guys, some big names to be announced on here. Alex Gray, formerly of NXT, he's on the flyer here, but he is not in the match card so far. So, the card subject to change for the better for Noah. Thanks for listening to me, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me. Let me know if you disagree with me. As always, fly high. I'm out.